Alhamdulillah, indeed all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. We praise Him and seek His help and forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from our soul's evil and our wrongdoings. He whom Allah guide, no one can guide, and he whom Allah misguide, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone without any partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his abd and final messenger. Sending durood upon our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. I welcome you on behalf of ALMPG team to our first ever kind of different topic webinar. This webinar is about bringing women to the table. So alhamdulillah, we highly encourage sisters and their spouses to join us today. So let's get started. Bismillah. So today's agenda would be introduction of the presenter. So inshallah, Sister Hajara, alhamdulillah, I will be your host today. My name is Dawood Ahmed. I am a part of ALMPG team. And Sister Hajara has joined us today. So inshallah, she will introduce herself. And we will talk about the leaders of past and present, inequalities towards women in the workplace or workforce, how to overcome the challenges at work. This goes for both men and women. And learn how to get back to work again. If you are struggling and if you are finding where to start, how to start, then inshallah this webinar will definitely help you out. I see a couple of messages. What does it say? Oh, those who, okay, and moving on, we have then opportunities for female entrepreneurs to grow, fund and expand their businesses. Inshallah, and finally, Sister Hajara will give her recommendations on how to do and achieve all this, inshallah. And at the end of the session, we will have a Q&A part where I'll give the mic to the person, and inshallah, you guys can ask us the questions. So, moving on, the format of the session is we will be close to, this session would be close to 2 hours or less than that. Depends on how Sister Hajara want to take this. And if you guys want, we can have a 5 to 10 minutes break in the middle. And at the end of the webinar, we will have the Q&A session. So inshallah, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to inshallah pass the ball to Sister Hajara Al Amodi, and she will inshallah continue from there. Sister Hajara, I am passing you the control, and now you can inshallah share your screen. Give me 1 second. Switch presenter, yes please. Okay, Sister Hajara, can you speak? I have unmuted you. We can see your screen. Hold on. What is the phone number you have joined through? If you can type that in the chat box. Okay.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now. Alhamdulillah. Go ahead, inshallah. First of all, Jazakallah khair from the whole ALMPG team for joining us today. Alhamdulillah, this is good. Because a lot of time from the formation of ALMPG, when we founded ALMPG last year, we have been doing a lot of sessions only on technology and education part, but this is important, you know. This is a big part of our community that, you know, we also encourage the members of the community and help them out how they can, inshallah, you know, overcome the challenges in the community and, you know, step up and find opportunities for themselves. When you talk, the whole ALMPG team, when we heard about this, that, you know, you are interested in helping us out, and we were like, you know, this is a great opportunity and we should definitely host it. You know, we have a lot of people waiting in line just to get the spot on ALMPG team for webinars. But alhamdulillah, we said everything is going to be next, but we have to host this. So Jazakallah khair once again for joining us. Inshallah, the mic is yours. I'm going to just sit back, relax, and you're going to run the show, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Daud. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about a specific challenge that exists in our society in today's time. But before that, let me just give you a brief introduction about me, my background. So my name is Hajara Al Amodi. I work in investments. I have a portfolio of real estate and securities in U.S. and India in specific. I have been working in the past in the technology sector. I had my company in IT for a while. I'm also on the boards of a couple of companies. So in the real estate sector, I'm on the board of a company from India, and I'm also on the board of an IT service company in the U.S. Besides that, I'm the co-chairwoman of 2020 Women on Board in the United States. And I work with the 30% Club, the 30% Club's research committee based out of Middle East, the GCC. So moving on, women have played a very important role in shaping our history, our society, communities. History has shown us some great leaders, philanthropists, businesswomen, and some very excellent contributors to our society. Yet today, we seem to have forgotten our histories and kind of began questioning the capability of the female entrepreneur, the female worker. So let's just, revive our faith in the capability of the women in the very early on session of this presentation. So we all know Khadija bint Khuwailid radiallahu anha. She was the prominent businesswoman of her time, the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was an entrepreneur who ran her business very successfully. In fact, Rasulullah worked for her business at one point in time. Aisha bint Abu Bakr radiallahu anha was another Islamic scholar. And then we have another one, Aisha bint Muhammad ibn Abdul Hadi. She was from Damascus, another Muslim women scholar who actually taught famous Muslim men scholars from her time. She possessed the shortest chain of narrations dating back to Prophet Muhammad than any other scholars alive during her time. Some other examples that we can reflect upon, look upon from our recent years, from our time, I guess, are, somebody like Shahnaz Hussain from India. She's a cosmetologist. She has her company, Shahnaz Herbals. She has done really well for herself, made a name for herself. I think a lot of ladies are familiar with her brands. And then Lubna Olayan from Saudi Arabia. She's the CEO of the Olayan company. And there are so many others. We can probably, spend the next 2 hours just discussing some of the women, the smart leadership-oriented women we have available among us right now. But let's just move on, carry on with this. So despite all of the progress women have made, somehow over the years, women have been left behind actually, or they have been pushed back. In today's time, the biased, unfair treatment and the lack of opportunity exists, or the lack of opportunity that does not exist not only for the Muslim women, but women in general across the globe. As you may have been hearing stories in the media about discrimination against women in the workforce, especially the technology sector, the venture capitalist industry, and the startups at the top of an organization in the boardrooms. And with my experience as a woman and as a Muslim woman, working in the tech industry, I know it's true because I have had to deal with my share of problems too. When I go to conferences, women from the audience, they come to me and, they tell me that they have been struggling at the workplace. I remember one such lady. She was a recent immigrant, well-educated, working woman. She said that ever since she moved to the United States and started working in the tech sector, things have gotten really hard for her in terms she felt she wasn't respected enough for her work. She was very uncomfortable going into meetings. So, you would carry a laptop, right? But she said that she felt this vibe, when she moved into the meeting rooms, that people, the men in the room, looked at her like, does she even know how to use that thing? So she eventually quit because she couldn't take it anymore. I asked her if she told her boss the real reason for her resignation. Unfortunately, she did not at the time, which she regrets. But the struggle has been similar for a lot of women. Some quietly leave the scene, but some do stay back and they try to fight the corruption. And because of those women and a lot of effort made by other people, organizations, is helping bring these problems, these unjust bias treatments to the surface. It's helping hold people accountable. So organizations such as the Anita Borg Foundation, which is a leading nonprofit with a presence in the United States, India, besides other countries, is working really hard to give that female worker, technologist, and entrepreneur an opportunity to succeed in the IT sector. They create a lot of programs, they conduct workshop, research, to not only better prepare the women to be good at their work in tech, but also, to try to promote that there is a level playing field, that, women are given a fair opportunity, that the women are, given a chance to succeed. So 2020 Women on Board is yet another organization that is trying to create a pathway and an opportunity for a female to be a part of the boardroom in the U.S. I am the co-chair of their Chicago campaign, and our aim as an organization is actually to increase, the female representation in the corporate boardrooms to at least 20% of the seats. And I can tell that we are seeing some really good success. Very good progress we have made. 30% Club is another such organization that is, helping women in the same cause over here in the U.S., in Europe, in the Middle East. So what I mean to say from all of this is that there is hope, and we women and the minorities can create a fair opportunity for ourselves. We just have to be determined and not be intimidated. So this brings us to the next section of our slide. I'm sorry, Brother Dawood, are you guys still able to see my slides and everything? Thank you. So now, moving on, with the Muslim women, especially those belonging to the Asian countries, face an even more complex situation. The kind of cultural environment we have has actually created a very unsupporting environment for the women, for mothers and many others. And most of it actually begins in our homes. Mothers are primarily bearing the larger responsibility of taking care of home, children, which is fine. Unless she wants to do something for her emotional and intellectual well-being, then there is typically a lot less support and understanding from the partner and the families. So we have a lot of talented, highly educated girls, women, many of whom have bachelor's, master's degrees. The women from the Asian countries are very well, I guess you can say equipped to handle and juggle multiple tasks. They are really strong and they can manage a high load of stress. I know a lot of these women are very capable and can contribute a whole lot more to our society if they are given that chance. Many of them have worked for some time in the past until they quit their jobs and things after marriage, children, but do desire to go back to work, do something for themselves. So today's presentation is geared towards these women and the minorities, since our struggle is pretty much the same. It's to offer a few helpful suggestions for how they can try to go back to work, create a business, become a philanthropist, and so on. So the number one suggestion or the number one advice that I would give to any women out there is, create a supporting environment for yourself. The number one supporter that you can have in your team, if you are married, is your spouse, your partner. Get him on board. You need to share the chores, responsibilities for the kids between yourselves. Sit down with him, share your desire to go back to work, do something challenging for yourself. It is not always about money, my friends. People assume that, you would want to work only for money, but no, there can be 100 more reasons an individual can work for. It can be for your own self-satisfaction, mental challenge. It helps build self-esteem and confidence, and which actually contributes to the overall well-being of the individual. So very important, get your team together, form a team. You should have somebody that can support everybody in your, that can support you in your efforts. So work experience, that's another. So, if you are just starting out, as somebody who's just fresh into the market, job market, do not be solely focused on finding a job that pays. You can volunteer at nonprofit schools, even businesses, to build your experience and get that crucial, the first experience that you would need. Do not take that your volunteer work lightly, even if you are not getting paid for that, for your volunteer work in terms of money, monetary terms. It is still teaching you the skills you can learn just as well at another paid position. So widen your search limits. Make sure you are gathering references and letters of recommendations along the way. That will really help you with, securing your next job, your gig, and all of that. Moving on, join an organization that is women-oriented, women-centric, where you will get to network, meet other women who might be at the same stage in life as you. Find mentors for yourself who can help you, people who can direct you, lead you, guide you along the way, who have been through, some of that stuff. Within IT, Anita Borg is one such organization for people from Central and South Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. There is another organization called techwomen.org. I have the names up on the slide if you can see. So the techwomen.org is actually an initiative of the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. So what they do is they select these capable women from different countries, from Asia, Africa, and they partner them with mentors from the United States. So that way, they are helping these women grow and make themselves better and create opportunities for themselves in IT. So it's a wonderful effort. Women Who Code is another organization with a presence in U.S. and India, among other countries. And then for those of you who are actually interested in the cybersecurity space, which has a huge shortfall of skill and very high demand, there is an organization called Women in Cybersecurity. I have the link up on the slide. It offers mentorship, again, mentorship, networking opportunity, hosts conferences and workshops for women to learn about the field. Now, it can be very daunting to go back to work, even for someone who has years of experience, but due to different circumstances has been out of the workforce. But if you follow some of my previous suggestions and network and connect with other women, find mentors for yourself, it can help you in the long run. Now, I would like to stress on this one important aspect of your interviews. When you go in for an interview, please do not give out your salary information, your past salary information. I know a lot of people, employers who interview do ask you. It's almost like the standard question, but please do not give out any such information, politely refuse. It has actually become a law in some of the states in the U.S., and there is a lot of good reasoning and logic behind this. It helps fight pay discrimination and gender bias. So what happens as of now today is that for the same job with the same years of experience between a man and a woman, a man gets paid $1 for it, and a woman comparatively is only paid about 75 to 85 cents for the same work. So when you give out your salary information, past wage information during your interviews, your employer, prospective employer, your future employer is definitely going to take that into consideration while they decide a pay package for you. So, in this way, you are kind of just promoting that pay discrimination that has existed so far along, and you want to fight that. So do not give out your salary information. Whatever you're going to be paid in the future has to be determined by that employer based on, what they think you are capable, based on your experience you have had and things of that nature, rather than what you were paid in the past. The other thing that I would like to mention to the ladies out here is that when you are in a situation at your workplace where you feel that you are being discriminated or you are in a very toxic environment, the number one suggestion that I would have is that please do not give up. Don't just walk out. Try to stay there and fight for your right and fight that discrimination, bring about a change in the environment. But even if you do leave, if you think that it's gotten to you and it's for your well-being to get out of that place, then at least be vocal and let your managers know why you're leaving the company. It's the least you can do for, other women who are still there working in that office. So that's a mistake I think a lot of us, and in specific ladies, make when, they put in resignations. And I keep hearing this again and again, is that they don't let their boss or their managers know the real reason, why they are leaving the company. You should let them know what's going wrong at their workplace so that they can correct that mistake and create a better place for other women. So please keep those things in consideration. Now, for some of the very same people with years of experience, in their past, it can be that the work or skill they had is not much in demand now, and they need to kind of start, with something new. Try to leverage on your past experiences as much as you can. I always say this to anyone who tells me they are looking to change fields. Please do not think all those years of experience is of no good to you now when you want to change the course of your career. Now, sometimes that can be the case when you are trying to completely change a field. Say you were an IT specialist and now you want to become a doctor. Then, yeah, you kind of have to start from the scratch. But in most situations, you can leverage on your industry experience, on your sector experience. And I would suggest that you plan your career in such a way that you are building on your past. That will be the quickest way to grow and move forward. I've seen and heard quite a few times from people who want to go back to work and, that they are planning to sort of call it a new beginning, which probably is not the smartest way to climb the success ladder. So entrepreneurship is another option we guys have, everyone out there has, and it's a great option. However, not everyone is an entrepreneur, and I believe it is a certain type of personality, a certain type of a certain individual who enjoys and is better suited at it. These people usually like to see no limits or ceilings to their growth. They are quite ambitious, risk takers, and they can usually handle a lot of stress and change. So not everyone cup of tea. However, just like for how everyone cannot be an entrepreneur, not every entrepreneur is suited to work as an employee, to be an employee at an organization. So it's different personalities, different individuals. So for that reason, be real as to who you are to determine what you can do on a long-term basis, and you plan accordingly. So that's really important. So, really understand your temperament, how much risk and stress you can handle, and things of that nature. That will help you in the long run. But for those who are of the entrepreneur type, there are many platforms that are available now to help a female entrepreneur. For some nonprofits like the Anita Borg, which can offer mentors and resources for budding businesswomen to investors who are solely focused on funding women-owned businesses. So this is a new breed of investors, you may call that venture capitalists, who have actually come together to fund only women-owned businesses, because just like the bias treatment towards women in the tech and in the boardrooms, there was very little funding that would actually go towards women-owned businesses. So these are stats from the United States. 13% of the capital, the venture capital, actually went to women businesses in 2013, and about 14% in 2017. So these venture capitalists, these new venture capitalists have found a way to help and support the growth of a female entrepreneur or women-owned business. So some examples that I can give you today is Kiva. It is co-founded by Jessica Jackley. It helps women entrepreneurs raise interest-free loans. It has a presence in multiple countries again. Shio is another example. Again, the same. They offer a choice of interest-free loans. But besides that, the financiers are similar to angel investors. So they offer a lot of expertise, connections, and, help support the company grow. Bringing us back to technology. For someone who's looking to work in IT and is not really technical, do not think that you do not have a chance. The IT sector is not all technical work. You do not have to be somebody who knows how to code, develop a program, or work behind the systems. Technology is actually very vast. It consists not only of the programmers and coders, but also functional people who work with a system or an application from the front end, or as a super user from that perspective. So these guys are, more in tune with the business side of using technology. They understand how to communicate in a business language. So see, that is one of the fundamental issues behind the lack of understanding of technology by the business people. And also one of the reasons companies actually fail at successfully implementing technical changes is, the language, the communication barrier. And there is research that has actually proved it, that, technical people fail to successfully communicate their message to the business folks. The technical words, the jargons make very little sense to other people. And, I'm also someone who has made this mistake many times. It's so easy to get caught up in our tech talk, to, continue on using abbreviations like SIT, UAT, things of that nature. But stakeholders, end users used to come back to me and they would ask me to explain these various terms, these terminologies and short forms. So a successful IT person is one who can actually explain technology in the most simple, common words possible. So sometimes that functional individual is actually the one who can do this the best. But the communication aspect of our work is really important to our success. So continue on with the examples. Now, the functional resources or the functional people, there are project managers who lead and manage technical projects. They are much more in tune with the business end of IT, but yet understand the overall framework of how IT works in a company. Business analysis is another profession. So what these guys do is that they help with analyzing a problem, gathering requirements, and work with the users and stakeholders to understand, what kind of a system, application, or tool they need for their business needs. So what I mean to say is that there are plenty of options out there. If you even, just sit down and use the internet, I'm sure you can come up with a lot of options for you to look at. Now, cybersecurity is yet another field that has become very important these days. With the amount of data breaches happening and businesses suffering losses in the billions, there is a real shortage of people and even more shortage of actually women in the security space. So a lot of companies are willing to train and teach their resources. So this is something that you can always consider if you, like that aspect of IT, the security challenges we have. But I'm very sure this is going to be a very upcoming field, and it's going to play a very important role in our businesses. There is a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding of security and security-related issues in the companies from the top to the bottom. So it's not just, the employees or people in the operations work, but it's also the management and people in the boardroom. We are all falling back or falling short on our understanding of security and security-related issues. And it's even more crucial that, businesses work towards this understanding, towards bringing this awareness among their employees, because it's impacting the company's bottom line. Businesses are having serious losses in the billions, which is bringing into question a lot of things, from an outsider's perspective. So I think security-related matters are going to play a very important and crucial role in investments and, in steering the direction of a company in the future years. And that's not too far either. So every company has a board, right? And they need it for guidance and expertise. The boards are, again, very heavily male-dominated. U.S., India, or the Middle East, pretty much the same. Some worse than the others. The Europe actually had passed a law where they required all company boards to give 30% of the seats to the female directors, and it has worked very well for them. However, nothing similar exists in the U.S., but a lot of people are making an effort to bring about a change, and it's actually working. So, ladies, when you think about career progression, plan such that you are preparing yourself for an eventual board seat. Support and promote other female directors for board seats. There is research and proof that it is better for a company in terms of more savvy investments and increased profits to have female board directors. It is up to us to push for this change. So when a company is asked why they have so few women on their boards, they say that they have been unable to find qualified women directors. There was a research conducted by Deloitte in the Middle East where they asked the same question to the CEOs and executives over there, and they came back saying that women are not ready because they have issues with travel, restrictions, permissions from the family, their children responsibilities, things of that nature. A lot is actually been done to address some of the problems. Organizations such as the NACD, which is the National Association of Corporate Directors, is creating programs to train and educate women for board seats. It is also asked from the businesses to help educate and train for these women for the board seats. Be flexible with, the work schedules. So they have to come down on their prerequisites or, the requirements while electing a board director, because women have been one part of the society that has been, for the longest time, deprived of, a fair opportunity in the boardroom, or have been given the least amount of chairs in the boardroom. So obviously, when a business is trying to go out and look for a director, and if they are going to ask for n number of years of experience, like 10, 12 years of experience as a board director, and they are trying to look in the female director pool, it's going to be really hard to, shortlist some candidates, because women won't have that much experience from the boardrooms because they have never really been given that opportunity. So the business, it makes complete sense for the business community to really, cut down on their prerequisites, make a path, let these women enter the room and help them develop their capability and skill set, and make themselves even better board directors. So the next slide, if you can see, this is all kind of bold, and because it is that crucial. The men actually in the room have a significant role to play, and this slide is specifically addressed to the brothers in our presentation today. So If you have a female worker in your office, in your department, create ways and opportunities for her to contribute. Do give her a chance and, value her opinion and suggestions. Acknowledge her contributions at work. This change and progress in our society cannot be done without your help, brothers. If you know of your company's board as being an all-male board, then question your management about it. Suggest that they hire more women directors. Vote for more women in managerial roles. So we rarely see a female project manager in IT. So make an effort to change that. So do your bit to make the industry, your company, be more just and give equal opportunity to the other half of the society. And this is all going to be really good for you in the long run. We both make an equal part of the society, the men and the women. So it just makes sense and it's fair that, they both get the same opportunities and chances in life. So the last slide before we end our presentation, and I think this is really important for all of us, including myself, is, stay true to yourself. Don't try to blend into the crowd. Be proud of your individuality, your identity, and the unique self that you are. Hold on to your values and principles. This is what makes you different from the person next to you. Your principles. Be a loyal, believer in your principles. Don't change that for, to mingle into a crowd, into a community. If that's your dress code, then adhere to your dress code. Don't try to change that. Be confident. This will give you the most admiration, recognition, and appreciation than anything else around you. So I wish everyone the very best in their journeys. I do hope that today's presentation has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please email them to me. You can see my email address up on the slide, and I will try my best to respond back to you. So thank you very much for joining me today, and have a wonderful weekend. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello? Sister Hajara?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was speaking on mute. I thought you dropped off. So, khair, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair for this fantastic session. There are a lot of points, I didn't knew about it, but alhamdulillah, this has raised my awareness too. So I hope, all the brothers who have joined in, they get to know about what are the challenges women face. And I think as a part of, I recently got married, and it is, wallahi, you will see how, this is how Allah created, women need support. This is a simple truth, in fact, So my wife, she is a doctor, she is giving her examinations, and, it is tough for her to maintain housework and also to maintain her studies. So I give her the time, I give her the support, I do most of the, I try to do most of the housework. So, this is how we should support them as our spouses, as our wives, and a mother of our children. And alhamdulillah, we should support and always encourage them to take a step ahead rather than just being at home and doing the utensils. This is a big job. Actually, this is a big job. I used to thought what is good in that, what is big in that, but alhamdulillah, this is a big job. Yes, but inshallah, we have to support our women with more. So your sisters, your mother, or your wives, we should support them with our help, with our strength, so that they can achieve more in their life. It's not just being at home. That's not life. but we can ask them to achieve more. That's how the Prophet Muhammad, he supported his first wife, Amma Khadija. He supported her very well with her decisions, with her business, and alhamdulillah, she grew, and alhamdulillah, she succeeded in both of her personal and professional life as well. So alhamdulillah, may Allah guide us, and give us the understanding that how we can lead a successful life for not just ourselves, but for also our spouses, inshallah. So Sister Hajara, let's take some questions quickly. So I'm going to start, make this presentation more into a question and answer session mode. Those sisters who have any questions or brothers who have any questions, please join. I have started the Q&A session. If you don't feel comfortable talking in, just you can type in the chat box, and inshallah, Sister Hajara will take the questions. Go ahead. Any questions? Anybody wants to ask any questions? No questions yet. I do have a question. Okay, Sister Ramona, please go ahead. What is your question? We will provide the recording as well. The recording is going to be on our website as well as on the YouTube too. Inshallah, you can find it out. And we have one caller. Okay, who is this? Go ahead, brother or sister, please ask your question. You have been unmuted.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ramana. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I just wanted to thank the ALMPG platform. First of all, I've been following you for quite some time now. I attended a couple of webinars with you guys. You are amazing. Alhamdulillah, may Allah give you jaza and the strength to keep on continuing with such powerful information and making it possible for everyone sitting at home to just gain this knowledge. So it's jazakallah khair to all of you guys who are behind the scenes, and I don't even know who they are, but you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. I think a whole of ALMPG team is up here, the core team from the US. So Jazakallah khair.
Secondly, I wanted to thank Sister Hajra. This is the very first time we actually are hearing something from the women's side, and I know that so many women out there who are listening right now also are feeling the same strengths and weaknesses what Sister Hajra talked about. We are in the same place. We felt so many things. We're unable to say it for many of our own personal reasons. But yes, you talked about so many things which did hit a chord. So you were absolutely right. This was an amazing presentation. I've been in the U.S. for 25, 30 years now, and I've worked in the field, and I've felt what you felt and talked about. I recently quit my work and went back to school again for a second degree. I am now in IT. I have a bachelor's in accounting, previously worked in the accounting field for decades, then quit, went back to school, wrapping up my second degree, and I am finishing up an MIS, bachelor's in MIS, and graduating in the next 2 months. So I will be in the market for an IT field, which is going to be totally switching on what you talked about if you're switching. I would probably wanted to ask, I want to ask you as to how I can incorporate my past experiences and utilize those in the new IT field, if that would make sense.
First and foremost, thank you for your kind words and many hearty congratulations on all that you have done so far. Now, when I was talking about leveraging on your past experiences, this is exactly the situation. Now, if I have heard you correctly, you said you have an accounting background. You have worked in that the accounting field, right? So. Yes. You can, when you are moving into technology, and I can see that it's a management, you said MIS, right? Management and Information Systems.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've actually managed healthcare clinics for so long, taking care of the back end, the accounting, the collections, the receivables part.
Okay. So, there are plenty of opportunities where you can actually make use of your accounting background. If you kind of gear towards the IT and finance side, or the IT side of finance and accounting, where you are kind of because for something like that, say for example, you have within a larger ERP system like Oracle or SAP, you would have the finance and accounting modules. Okay, so you have certain IT tools that you use to manage those different departments within a business. So to even really work on that IT side of managing those aspects of a business, you need to have an understanding of those concepts. So, for example, if you are in accounting, you need to know how accounting works, what credits, what debits, how the accounting is done, and then the accounting practice in itself, depending upon the different industries and government requirements and restrictions, is different for different industries. Like it's going to be different for a private business, and then it's going to be different for a government entity. Correct? So, depending on, if you have been somebody who has been practicing accounting or working in accounts in, say, a government entity, that would make you a very good candidate to be someone to work on, the IT side of accounting in the IT department, like controlling maybe, or finance. So if you look into Oracle, you could also be working in Oracle FICO or SAP FICO, the finance and controlling aspect of the business, but just working with the IT application over there. Because for that, again, you need that underlying the foundational understanding of those concepts. So that right there, you are kind of leveraging. So if you are to compare yourself with somebody who just has that technical knowledge but really doesn't have that background, where you have developed a deep knowledge of the subject, you are more, you're easily gonna be the better choice compared to the other individual. So that's right there. That's your leverage.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Jazakallah khair for that question and the answer. So any other sister or brother who wants to ask any question, please feel free to join the queue. You can type in the chat box too your question, and inshallah we'll try to take that. No more questions? Okay. Sister Hajara, a couple of points I have noticed in your presentation that the sister do not have to disclose their income, the previous income they made through the previous job. Is it a law kind of thing, or is it just applicable to an individual? If they don't want
to. It hasn't been the law up until the recent past, but some states in the United States have made it into law. So at the state level, it is a law in some states that employers cannot question, people about their past wages, what they were paid in the past. Now, this is a very common practice, especially in the recruitment community, the recruiters. It's almost like a practice for them to question, what your rate was, or your hourly wage was, at your past job, your project. So, you should not, law or no law, it is your right to answer that question or to not answer that question. And I suggest that everybody do not answer that question, because it serves no benefit to you or the employer. Right.
Got it. Yes. That's actually a good point. I didn't know that. We usually, when we take the interview calls and when somebody, on the recruitment side, they have, they ask us, how much was your previous pay, and I have seen it. So yeah. This is a good point you have raised. Any other points would you like to add, to sum it up? And also, okay, we have a quick question from Sister Seema. Okay, go ahead. If you want to type in the chat box, or you want to, take the mic and get in the Q&A session, I'll unmute you. Okay. Well, feel free to type in the chat box. That's fine. That's fine. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sister Hajara.
Just I think in specific to our community, that is especially the Muslims from the Asian countries, it has been a challenge and a struggle for the women to really, especially, the challenge comes from the families, the restrictions and, the unsupporting environment. Even if it's somebody who's trying to do something, then, the husbands give a tough time to these ladies, to these women. So that has to change, and if that changes, I think this can be one of the leading communities in today's time, because the women from the Asian countries are very educated. It's just I don't know, it's the society's thinking structure or what it is. People want to get their girls educated. Parents want to get their girls educated. The women have bachelor's, master's degrees. Some even have PhDs. But somehow when it comes to working, it's not that encouraged. Especially the husbands. After marriage, it becomes a challenge for a lot of women. And I've heard this many times, and I'm sure the other ladies will agree with me that, it's the husbands who actually kind of, do not want them to work. But that can create a very isolating environment for the women, especially, if you're away from home and family, like if you are somebody, living in the U.S., but, your family's back in India or Pakistan or somewhere else, you're pretty much isolated from the society to a large extent. And with no help with the kids, these women are very home restricted and homebound to a large extent. And that can actually be really bad for the health, cause various issues like depression and, other depression has become very common these days now again. So just the working aspect, going out, challenging yourself mentally, being in an environment where you're having all those mental discussions, the mental challenges, it's very beneficial to the health itself. So I think that has to change from the thinking perspective of our community, and it will help us all in the long run. It will be very beneficial for our families, for our children in the long run.
Right. Fantastic advice. I completely agree with you. Yes, it's a partnership we live in, husband and wife, and husband should be more supportive and more encouraging to, to sisters. And I think we are missing that. Wallahi, we are missing that. I used to live in another apartment, there used to be this guy, the woman used to be at home all the time, and she was frustrated. Even if we, she used to come and complain to us for silly things, so alhamdulillah, I think, it's high time for us, to realize that, we have to give them an opportunity, or at least encourage them. Women can do a lot. I have a sister, my woman is in a WhatsApp group in this community. I live in California, Southern California, Arcadia County. So a sister, she became an entrepreneur. She started cooking. She's a great cook. She started cooking at home, and alhamdulillah, she is doing well. She is doing very well. People go in, and she knows, she's known in the community for her cooking skills. So if a sister has some good cooking skills, so inshallah she can be an entrepreneur. The husband, the thing is that the husband and the family has to be supportive. Yes, that is right. So let's take a couple of questions here. We have Sister Nazia Jalal. She has a question. If you can see your chat box, Sister Hajara, she's asking, Sister Hajara, can you advise on some of the ideas how women can start small businesses or IT jobs from home?
Both work from home or flexible work schedules are pretty frequent now. It's the norm these days, especially in the technology sector. You have so much flexibility, and I think that's one of the best parts of working in IT. But there are so many things that you can do from a business perspective, starting your own, because I would advise to take baby steps in the beginning and start with something small, and that can usually be done right from your home. Now, for you as an individual, you will have to look back on your or look into what skills you have, what you like to do, and what you have been always interested in doing or enjoy doing as a skill, as a talent. Maybe you like teaching, or maybe you're creative, you make paintings or things of that nature, or you have a wonderful idea that is actually trying to solve or would solve a certain problem or an issue for the society. And usually those are the businesses that are really successful, that actually address problems from the society, right? So it's something like that. Really think about it, what you can do as an individual, what you're really good at. And if business is something that you're always interested in or have been interested in, then you can always take that route and try to do something like that. Within IT, I'm not sure if there is some job that I can or some work that I can tell you from right here that you can start. Again, it always begins with you as a person, what you can really do well, what you can do on a long run. So it's not just about the next couple months or the next 1 or 2 years, right? You want to think on a long-term basis because that's how you grow. That's how you build upon your successes. So I know a lot of developers and web development work is done, from anywhere. But, again, it's up to you, and you'll have to think about that for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of other thoughts came to my mind, sisters who, alhamdulillah, women are born teachers. So inshallah, you can stay at home and you can give tuition classes, or you can join the website. Just another brother mentioned about the Fiverr, and you can talk about trainings. And in Udemy, you can create a training session and people can join you. And also you can reach out if you have already you have experience back from India in any technology, in IT or any other sector. You can reach out to consulting firm and tell them, okay, you have so and so experience, and you would like to be a trainer in their company. So alhamdulillah, you can sit at your place and you can give training online. It happens, and people are already doing it, and they are making tons of money on it. We have so many people in our community, in ALMPG brothers, who are doing this, and they are making good money, alhamdulillah. So why not you? So you can definitely do that. One more idea was, there are a lot of freelancing tech websites. Go on there. You can do part-time job, or if you already have a skill, you have experience, you can do a freelancing projects on there, and you will get paid pretty good salary. So kind of money. So for the projects. So you can discover that too. There are a lot of options. The first thing is that we have to get out from the mentality of, just being home and just, continue doing the daily life. I keep telling this the same thing to my mother also. She does the same thing every single day. I said, come on, you will get bored, go out. So alhamdulillah, she started going into this halaqah, sister halaqah, and every single day now she goes to the halaqah, and she's contributing to the society. So I am telling you guys, sisters especially, home is life is not just the boundaries of home. Inshallah, you can give more back to the community and the society, and create a good professional and personal life. We just have to learn how to balance it. And inshallah, once you are all set, you will do good, and you will be again doing a session for ALMPG like Sister Hajara did. We hope to see a lot of other sisters come on to the platform. We highly encourage this. We highly encourage the sisters to come out in the workforce and come out in the field and help the community out and help themselves, inshallah. And we are always there. Your brothers on ALMPG team are always there. If you guys have any idea or any plan, let us know. Let us know, inshallah. We will help you out. So let's take another question. Brother Farsi had a good comment here. He said, disclosing current or past salary is voluntary. When someone asks, they clearly mention it is up to you. Okay, so alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair, Brother Farsi, for that piece of information. And Sister Nazia, she has
if I may add to that real quickly, I know it's voluntary, and they are supposed to mention it to you that it's up to you to answer that. But if you are someone who has been talking to recruiters, they don't really tell you all that. their main goal is just to get that information from you, because ultimately they work for the businesses rather than for, that individual. So a lot of time recruiters or people who are supposed to tell you about that disclosure do not, and you are kind of led into thinking that it's mandatory for you to answer something like that.
So in that situation, what should we do, Sister Hajara? Just plainly let them know that, you are not disclosing it?
Yeah, you can tell them that, you wish not to disclose about your past salary. And you can tell them, what sort of a wage, rate, whatever it is that you're looking at. You can tell them this is what I'm expecting.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So let's take another question from Sister Nazish. I have a question. Is it a good idea to complain to the higher management if my manager is biased, or will it impact the job? Also, because I am not having job satisfaction, is it advisable to be still on this current job with it? Sister Hajara, your take on this.
Right. So the first part of your question about talking to the upper management about maybe your manager in specific, it's tricky. And you have to be really diplomatic about this when you are trying to go about and do something like this. But you can and you should if it comes to that point. First, I would say, go and talk to the person that you have the problem with, or, where the issue is arising from. First, go and talk to them directly. If that's your manager, the manager that you report to, talk to that person directly and tell them, what the issue is, or what's going on, discuss the matter, and be open about it. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding or a communication, lack of communication on the manager's end, and they can rectify that. So don't just jump to the next step and go directly to the upper management. That's not the advised method. Always approach the individual that you have an issue with and try to resolve it with them. If it does not work out, then going higher up would be your next step. Now, but the job satisfaction, now I don't know what you do and what the situation is, but I'm thinking it might have something to do with, the other part of your question. But I think if you are not satisfied with the job, and there can be so many reasons why you're not satisfied. Maybe you're not challenged enough, you don't like the work or the environment. Depending upon these different situations, the advice have to be quite different. So if it's just something related to the work, or you think you have learned all that you had, you could have possibly learned from that business, working in that business, then yeah, it's time for you to move on. Start looking for something else somewhere where you can grow further. Or, if it's something where you think that there is no real career growth for you in an organization, I'm not talking about, different conditions, environmental, things like that, but just, from the work perspective, if you think that there is no real success ladder to climb on, or maybe the company is not really doing so well, or they're kind of stagnated, in its situation, then in that sort of a situation, again, it makes sense to move out and start looking to something else. But if it's a situation which I have discussed in my presentation, something similar to that, then my advice too, that I would suggest that you still stay back and try to fight that toxic environment. It's not just for yourself, but for other women, other ladies in your workplace who probably are also facing the same situation, if that's the case. So different advice on different situations, but these are some of the suggestions.
Right, Jazakallah khair. And also, whenever somebody is looking for to quit, so make sure you have another job in your hand before you quit. So this is what I always advise to our brothers or sisters. They are looking for new job, or their job is ending and they want to start the job search after the job has already ended. So my advice to them is then, meanwhile, keep looking for a job. Take at least 4 months because it is tough out there. So inshallah, you have to spend at least 4 to 5 months to get a good job which suits your experience and what you're looking for. So inshallah, start your plan, make a plan, and then inshallah take a move on it. And also, if if your manager is not ready to, my piece of advice on that is that you tried everything what Sister Hajara said, and if that is not working, make sure you document everything. Because most of the time we go with the complaint to the higher management, and higher management say, what is your proof? Why did you feel like that? So we don't have enough proof. We can't just talk. We have to walk and talk. We have to give them the proof too. Okay, this is what happened. I asked him on the email. I asked him this and that. So you provide them with the proper evidence so that you can build up a good case against the manager if he or she is being rude or not biased against you. So let's take another question from hold on. Sister, okay, one sister used to cook here, now she opened restaurant. MashaAllah, fantastic. Look at that. That's entrepreneurship right there. Brother Fasi shared a story. One sister used to cook here, and now she opened a restaurant. And same goes here. In my community, there is a lady, her name is Bhanu, and she was just she had a small store. Now that store become a big and well-known restaurant here. So we can do a lot, but yes, we need the support from family and inshallah, but the first step is always from ourselves. We have to take that first step. A simple example I would give from my life, my wife, she wants to achieve more. She wants to give more to the community. She wants to be a successful doctor so that she can open a community clinic for the local community here. And she goes to the mosque community clinics, and she helps the people out. It's her initiative. So we have to start that initiative. The sister have to start that initiative, keep a goal in their mind. Okay, this is what I want to do. And then talk to the family member that, okay, can you support me with this? And inshallah, you will find positive answers, It's just first we have to make up our mind, make a plan, and ask the family members to join you and help you with that. It has to be a group effort. You cannot achieve that individually when we are married. I have seen that. It has to be a kind of, a husband and wife decision, inshallah, to move forward. And inshallah, you guys will do good. So another question, if you are a master in one technology, there are a lot of people looking for online training and job support. Yes, Brother Fasi, that is a good point. Yes. The sisters who already are experienced and they want to help people out, there are a lot of people who are looking for job support. You can inshallah help them out in any way possible. Okay, Sister Seema is ready with her question. Let's unmute her so that inshallah she can ask her question. Okay, I got her number. Give me 1 minute. Okay, Sister Seema, I have unmuted you. Please, you can speak now.
Assalamu alaikum. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Loud and clear. Please ask your question.
Okay. First of all, Jazakumullahu khair for this webinar. It's so good, and my question has already been answered. It was regarding how to handle the question about your past salary. So, but this, I would like to take this platform to bring some awareness for both men and women, Muslim men and women, if I can, for just 2-3 minutes. Is it okay?
Sure. Sure, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to request Muslim brothers, husbands. I would have expected more husbands here, more Muslim brothers to be present here, because the problem of men have to understand. And there are very few men here in this webinar, so I would have expected more men. And I think I'm a working woman. I think most of the time, women also look down upon working women, the career-oriented women. So I request the women to not to look down the working women. Please be supportive. Another thing that I have noticed is the courses that are being organized in masjids. They are dominated by men. Very few women, and there was one course that I attended, I was the only woman among 100 men. It's little intimidating to sit there in a room being only women among 100 men. So I think men can, if they can bring their wives it will be a little easier for women like me to attend such courses. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
Sister Hajara, Jazakallah khair, Sister Seema. I don't have word on that. Sister Hajara, would you like to share anything? Would you like to comment on that?
Actually, what the sister mentioned is true. And it is real to a large extent. I know, I don't know why that is, but unfortunately, you know, this is not how we build community. We cannot, I mean, here we are women trying to fight for a place for ourselves, and we have women who are actually looking down upon their fellow women. So that cannot work. It has to be a very supporting environment. It has to be a lot of support that is offered. Now, you work or you do not work, or you like to be a stay-at-home mom, that's your choice. That's up to you. And, you know, if you're not able to work because of, you know, different reasons, everybody has a different life, different situations, that's your situation. Please do not be judgmental about other people who are working. And, you know, I would say the same thing for the working women, that, you know, don't be judgmental, because some of us are of, you know, the stay-at-home moms too, that, you know, I mean, their situation is different. They're not, don't think that they're not competitive or educated or, you know, have that level of skill and talent to be working, because you don't know about their situations. You don't know about, you know, what they are doing, what they have done. So don't be judgmental about each other. And, you know, the other aspect of, you know, just a lot of men being there in our masjids, and I agree, our masjids do have that problem. The participation from the women folk is really little. If you look at the masjid boards, it's 99.9% men. The Islamic schools in our society, 99.9% men. They don't want to bring a woman to the board. They make it tough for the women to be on the board. So all these decisions they are taking on behalf of, you know, our daughters, our children, who are not just our sons, but our daughters too, is, you know, the men at the boards are making those decisions. You cannot do that without a female representation, somebody voicing the concerns and the issues that, you know, the women and the girls at schools are facing, are having, without really, you know, I mean, how do you make such a decision? And the same thing goes on, you know, in our business community. The same thing goes on our business boards. You have today, in today's time, like over 50% of the population or the consumers business has are women. And then you have all these boards that are male, right? You do not have a female director who is voicing and bringing forth the concerns and, you know, the thinking pattern of all these female consumers that you have out there, who are really crucial to the success of your business. So it's really bad practice from every which way if you look at it. So I think, you know, a lot has to be done. Men do have to contribute. We do have that problem in our society, especially in our community, that, you know, we somehow just, especially when it comes to our wives, right? They have all these other chores and responsibilities to take care of. But please be supporting and let them grow too, because it's good for you, it's good for your children, it's good for your families in the long run. Just think about that. You know, it's good for the kids to see their mom as somebody who's ambitious, hardworking, somebody who has achieved success, who has, you know, had her share of problems, but she fought through them. Just think about that situation. That is real motivation right there for your children to grow up to be strong, independent individuals.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. Jazakallah khair, Sister Hajara. But it is a sad reality, you know, brothers, they don't want to contribute, they don't want to encourage. This is a sad reality. We have just, it's become a norm, right? sister don't ask for it, brothers don't go for it. They don't want to help. This is normal. But the sister now, they have to make a plan, as I said, what they have to achieve in their life, and inshallah, as their spouses, their husbands, and if they have children, ask them, how they can support them. So inshallah, in this way we can, try to change something. It's a good start, but inshallah we have to start somewhere. I hope we do more, inshallah, and not just hope, but inshallah, ALMPG team is dedicated towards this cause, inshallah, and we hope to do more sessions in future like this. Any sister who have experience, who want to share their experience, inshallah, let's do more sessions in future coming in. So one other comment from Brother Riaz, a very good comment. Sister Nazish, you can also talk to HR directly. HR has special policy for women, and when a woman make any complaint, they will take serious action without disclosing names. I have seen this in my company. Jazakallah khair, Brother Riyaz. Brother Riyaz, by the way, is a part of ALMPG team. Alhamdulillah, he is the one who set up the whole ALMPG platform. Alhamdulillah, he and his team. And Yusuf, she's asking how to tackle workplace harassments from manager just because one is a Muslim. My husband start to feel that his manager intentionally gives him more work on Fridays and asks him to respond, though it's not urgent. Sister Hajara, how would you answer that?
Okay, so to begin with, sister, I would say is that please do not directly go to the conclusion it is because you're a Muslim. Okay, there can be other reasons. So what I would suggest to the brother is, I know Jummah prayer is there, and it's, men do go to the masjid to attend the prayer. So let your team and your manager know that this is the time that you have to be out of the office for the prayer, and you cannot, attend meetings or schedule things like that, or have work that is due at that time. You have to let them know that this is important to you, and you cannot compromise on something like that. Maybe he's just not aware of it. The manager is just not aware, of how, it is for your husband. And then if it's about the work and the load of work, this is something your husband's going to have to talk to the manager again. Like, why are you, or why is he given so much work, or how come, everything is due on a Friday or in a very short notice, and how it's not realistic for the manager to expect that your husband's going to be able to complete everything in a short duration of time. There are a lot of things to attach to everything. So he has to take up all of these and go up to the manager and have a very detailed and thoughtful discussion. And I'm sure they can come up with some resolutions between themselves after the discussion. So don't get frightened or just assume that, it's because of your religion, or because, you have to go for the Friday prayers and they're just, trying to create hurdles for you not to attend the prayer. So the first step in resolving an issue like this is, again, go directly to the person responsible and sit down and talk and let them know, what are your limitations, and then work from there.
That is absolutely correct, mashallah. The same thing I noticed is that, in my previous job, not this one. So what happened is that I didn't told my manager about my religious belief, and that I have to go for the Friday prayer, and it got tough on me that I didn't told him, and he didn't knew. He used to schedule meetings on it, but I learned from my mistakes. But now in my current project and current job, I told my manager from the very first day, and alhamdulillah, you see, every single day he asked me, did you pray? Do you need time? He will not put meetings between 1 to 2 p.m. He'll say, okay, no, the guy is busy, so let's do the meeting after 2:30 or before 1. So alhamdulillah, we just have to take this step, and we should be proud of it. I have a pretty lengthy name. So I have a pretty lengthy name. That goes with the sisters too, but alhamdulillah, sisters are more visible. Men can hide their identity as a Muslim, but I'm not no more hiding my identity. Alhamdulillah, I have a big name, Ghulam Muhammad Al Dawood Ahmed. So I just displayed that name, my ID badge on my collar, so everybody knows in my office that I'm a Muslim. And my manager keep telling me, hey man, whenever you wanna take time out for your prayer, feel free. So we just have to initiate that. Whether you are a sister or a brother, we have to be, alhamdulillah, proud of our identity, our religion, no matter what religion or identity you come from, but alhamdulillah, be proud of it, and let the management, let your co-workers know about it. You should be proud of it. We people coming from India and Pakistan, from Asian countries, are not that kind of shy people, or I don't know, we are scared of something. I don't know what is that something, but we don't have to be. We don't have to be. We are human beings, and alhamdulillah, we have a right to express ourselves, right to represent yourself with what religion or what culture you are in. So don't feel shy about it. You don't have to be scared of anything. Inshallah, just let the front person know that how they can accommodate you with your religious belief. And inshallah, I see most of the time people are friendly enough, whether your management or whether your manager, they want to help you out. So inshallah, in most of my cases, I have seen people are out there, though they are from different belief and religion, they want to help you. They wanna, even when I was at school here in US, I used to work for a director as a graduate assistant, and she knew about me that I have to go for a Friday prayer, and she was like, Dawood, feel free to walk out whenever you wanna go for the prayer. So alhamdulillah, we just had to let them know that this is where I cannot do the job. I have to take a time off. I'm not taking my lunch, but I have to go for the prayer. So you have the right to take your lunch. So instead of lunch, you're going for a prayer. So you can do that. Any other questions we have? So yes, the session is recorded. One other sister, her name is also Hajara. So yes, the session is being recorded. We will upload it inshallah on YouTube, and also it will be the slide deck from Sister Hajara, inshallah. If she allows, we will put it on our website so that more people can have a look at it. And also I have seen, as Sister Hajara was talking about the inequalities, and we have been encouraging a lot of sisters to join ALMPG, and inshallah we have more plans in future for sisters, especially kind of opening a sister circle on the website where all the sisters can join in and help each other out. Inshallah, that is one of our plans, but inshallah the platform is open for you guys. Come and join. If you have any questions, if you can help people out, help them. If you need help, ask people for help. There are a lot of people who are on the platform who are looking forward to help each other out, whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim, whether you're sister or brother, doesn't matter. The platform is for everybody. First, we started this platform only for the Muslim platform, Muslim minorities in America, but alhamdulillah, a lot of non-Muslim brothers and sisters, they ask us, why can't we join in? We said, ahlan wa sahlan, please come on and please join us. So alhamdulillah, we have a non-Muslim population also on our website, and they are happy with us, alhamdulillah. So this is a great work we have started, and alhamdulillah, and we believe that the sisters also should be a part of this. We need more help. In fact, the ALMPG team was looking for a sister volunteer who can join the core team and help us make more decisions. So if you guys, anybody is interested, feel free to volunteer us. We are still looking for volunteers. We don't have any sister volunteers for working for ALMPG. We have a lot of brothers, but inshallah, sisters are also welcome. If you guys have any plan, anything you want to do for the community, please send an email. You can always send us an email on this, moderator@almpg.com, and we'll try to see how we can accommodate your needs, or how we can help on this, what you're looking for. Can you please create a WhatsApp group for ALMPG women and talented women that can help each other? Actually, the ALMPG do not support WhatsApp because we cannot stop the messages in WhatsApp, and we don't want to end up in kind of a trouble, kind of a fight. So that's why we try to avoid it. But what we are doing is we are trying to work out a solution on ALMPG platform itself, where we will kind of have a WhatsApp integration where you can create your group and we can monitor it. right? But inshallah, what I can do from my side is that we can discuss with the team, the whole team of ALMPG, and inshallah, if we come out with a solution on this, we will keep you guys updated on it. So inshallah, yes, we are looking for something like that. So hopefully we will give you an update soon, because we had a couple of WhatsApp group, and we saw, you know, people posting all this different kind of messages which were not to the point, you know. So it was becoming hard for other people to follow up, and they were like, you know, please kick me out of the group, you know. They left the group, and you know, it was a nuisance. So alhamdulillah, but we are trying to work a solution for that. When we are ready with that, please inshallah join us. But meanwhile, join ALMPG, and if you guys have any questions, comment, and inshallah, if you want to volunteer, please feel free to email us or support us in any way. Sister Hajara, at the end, you want to add something here? I would say this was a fantastic session, our first approach, and I am looking forward to do more sessions like this with you in future. But what I am thinking is that in future we should come up with the entrepreneurship kind of session where we can teach sisters how they can start from scratch, from their home. Those who do not have any experience, those who wants to become an entrepreneur or just get into the IT field, we can do something kind of workshop, not just a session, but a workshop. What do you think about that? I know you are a busy person, but what do you think about it?
I think it's a very good idea. I know we have a very big business community. A lot of us are, self-made entrepreneurs, and a workshop where we are setting a direction and advising how to go about achieving that will be very beneficial. It's a sound idea.
Yeah, I think we can do that. We can get more entrepreneurs like you, inshallah, and do a kind of panel session where we can teach sisters at least something, you know. But alhamdulillah, ALMPG keep doing all the sessions, you know, boot camps and training sessions where sisters can learn and inshallah get help, get their, first step towards finding a job. So any other help sisters need, please feel free to reach out to us. We are here. Alhamdulillah, we want to make a difference. It is tough out there, we know that, but we are here to support everybody, whether you are a sister or brother, inshallah, and also invite your family and friends to be a part of ALMPG. At the end, personally, I want to thank on behalf of full ALMPG team, Sister Hajara, for all your time. Alhamdulillah, I know it is a lot on you because you are in so many places, you're working in so many places. So alhamdulillah, thank you so much for giving us your time and your knowledge, sharing your knowledge with us. So jazakallah khair from the whole ALMPG team. Let us know what we can do more for you from our side.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And this is personal to me, and from my end, it's me helping our minority community, our sisters out there who really want to do something and are so capable of doing it, and just, the general upliftment of our Muslim community. I think it's been wonderful, and I hope that today's presentation has been beneficial, and it has given some ideas and, directions to everybody out there who tuned in for the webinar.
Yeah, jazakallah khair. I also have one more quick part. I got just an idea. Maybe a sister can open up a post on ALMPG, how a woman can start working from home, and maybe a lot of sisters can join in and share their experience or comment, and brothers can also join in and share their experience and comments, inshallah. So somebody come forward and, put up a post, and inshallah, maybe you guys can get good answers. So alhamdulillah, this is where the whole community effort come in. Inshallah, we have to not just work for ourselves, but also for the community, and we have to see ideas and ways where we can give back to the community. This is required. This is required. This is needed. I was listening to a lecture from, I shared this with Sister Hajara too, I think, lecture from Dr. Yasir Khadi. and he was talking about, a lot going on with Muslim minorities in America, which we are not realizing. We have to get united, and we have to work for this cause. This is important. We have to get our people in entrepreneurship position, and we have to get our family in positions where they are able to help the community and make them realize that how important Muslims are in America and in all across the globe. So inshallah, with this note, I want to say goodbye, and inshallah, with the help of ending of my session, I'm going to just, with the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going to end this session. Jazakumullah khair, everybody, for joining in. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Jazakallah khair, everybody, for joining in. This was your brother Dawood with whole ALMPG team and sister Hajara. Until next session, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.